I had to block her on 8 numbers for her to leave me alone. Muzz Confessions, this is one of my personal stories. So just a quick introduction. My name is Yahya Growth. I help men with masculinity, improving their attraction and understanding women. And you're probably thinking, what does this guy know about Muzz and dating apps and why is he so obsessed with it? Well, I used to be a dating coach and part of that was giving expert advice on how to optimize your dating profile. But anyway, now that you've been given some context, let's get back to the story. I remember matching this girl on Muzz. Very attractive, seemed to tick all of these boxes, right? The conversation was going well, nothing haram. I mean, maybe she could have worn her hijab a little bit better. It's a small thing, right? A few days of talking go by and it's going well. And she tells me that she wants to delete the app and she's had enough of it, but wants to carry on talking to me on WhatsApp. And at the time I was thinking, seems a bit eager, but this was one of the first interactions I'd had with a Muslim girl, and so I thought nothing of it. Boy, oh boy. So we get onto WhatsApp, and almost immediately I could sense there was something not quite right. The energy had shifted in a certain direction. And every time that I would take 5 to 10 minutes or even longer to reply, I would be bombarded with messages. What are you up to? What are you doing? Why are you not replying? It was a bit strange. I was a little bit creeped out. But I gave her the benefit of the doubt and I said, you know, maybe she hasn't had many interactions with guys and she's very sort of clingy. And I was like, okay, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be, but it's not always. So yeah, I gave her a benefit of the doubt. The next day I went into work and I was busy doing some work and then all of a sudden she starts to call me. And I found that strange because she hadn't asked to call me. It was weird. It was just a weird move. And I explained to her that I was at work and she wouldn't stop calling me. And so at this point, I was just weirded out. So I blocked her number. And I thought, okay, that's the end of things. I thought wrong. So maybe 5 to 10 minutes go by and I'd basically forgotten about the whole thing. And then all of a sudden, I start getting messages and calls from a different number. And I'm thinking, all right, I put 2 and 2 together. I'm not stupid. And I knew it was her. So I didn't reply. I blocked that number. And I was thinking, that's strange. Maybe she has 2 phones. 5-10 minutes go by. She starts calling and messaging on a different number. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this is weird. I've never experienced this amount of like stalking before. And I guess now I understand why a lot of girls are very, very careful when they use these apps. And so 5 to 10 minutes go by, another number. And this must have happened about 3 to 4 more times. And on the 8th time, I finally responded and I said, look, if you keep doing this, I'm going to use this as evidence and go to the police and get you charged for harassment. Now, obviously for me, I don't really mess with the police like that. I don't really like them that much. But I had to say something to deter her from doing it because I was at work and it was shaking me up because I was like, this woman's crazy. She won't leave me alone. And luckily she didn't call my bluff. I don't know what I would have done, but I might have just turned my phone off. But luckily she didn't call my bluff and she stopped messaging me. But the annoying thing, the thing that happened, which I kind of regret, is that I changed my number in that period of time. Because I was like, she's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. So I changed my number. And right after I changed my number, she stopped. And so I had a new number. But no reason for having that new number. Strange. And I'm not gonna lie, I have left out some details which I don't really want to say because even though you don't know her identity, it just seems a bit much for a Muslim audience. But anyway, if you are to take something away from this story, is to 1, probably not use these online dating apps, I have to be honest. 2, if you are going to use it, make sure that you stay on the app and call and text on the app. And if somebody wants to move it elsewhere, just say, no, I want to stay on this app, because then they can't harass you, right? And that's the thing with these online dating apps like Muzz, Match and Salams, is that you have no mutual friends. So you have someone who is able to act in maybe a sexual way, maybe in a threatening, aggressive way. And there's almost no consequences for that person because there's no mutual friend. And so you can act however you want to act, and there's no consequences. And I get a lot of people messaging me like, what is the alternative to this? Like, I don't know many Muslims. My family don't really know many Muslims. I have to use these online dating apps if I want to get married. But there's always other ways, and I will be releasing a video soon. I know I said that probably a few weeks ago and I haven't come out with it yet. I will be releasing it soon, so inshallah you'll get the answer there. But anyway, let me know if you've had any crazy stories, and yeah, catch you shortly, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.